Alrighty. Hello, everybody. My name is Chameleon Ice, and I'm here running for us Emerald City. We're actually going to jump right into it, so hold on to your seats. This is going to be issue
You see
one.
the chair?
Hmm?
You see the chair I'm sitting in? It's an awful large chair to hang on to.
Yeah, really.
We'll work hard at it.
You can't see me holding onto my chair, but I am.
Same.
We're going to start off with issue one, Initiation. And on the cover, we see a large landscape of the city itself, Emerald City. And looking over the city, we see three silhouettes. We don't quite know who they are, but when we turn the page, we're going to find out. So, first thing that
Not
we
us.
see. No, it's the other real heroes. First thing that we see, first panel is it's a night sky. All is quiet among Emerald City. And then suddenly an alarm bell goes out. We zoom in and we see the second Emerald Bank, because the first one got destroyed. The second Emerald Bank with a stream of burglars running out, performing a daring heist. There is nobody there to stop them, until now. First onto the scene to deal with this daring 9 p.m. bank robbery is going to be our Janice, played by TGE, the untouchable Sauve. Sauve, when you come onto the scene, you see these guys streaming out of the bank. It's a large gang of them. What do you do?
I look around for a trash can.
Right.
And I go into full invisible ghost mode and pick up the trash can and start running or flying it so it looks like there's a trash can like in line with them, because I don't care if you're robbing a bank or not. If you see a floating trash can, you're going to stop and wonder what the hell's going on.
Alrighty. So, Sauve, you grab that trash can, and these bank robbers, who are all clad like in black, because of course, they see this trash can trailing alongside them. And a lot of them stop and they start staring at that because that trash can isn't one of theirs. It's not wearing their colors. But they are momentarily distracted. And while they're distracted, our second hero comes onto the scene. He is our doomed, played by OPT lawyer, the uncatchable Swiftfoot. Swiftfoot, you come onto the scene and these robbers are distracted. How do you get here? What do you do?
Oops, sorry. I was hitting the wrong
okay.
button.
If you're talking, we
Yeah,
can't hear
We
you.
can't
I
hear
hit the
you.
wrong button. So of course he's going to
sure
run.
it's awesome.
He's running in. So because that's what he does. He runs in.
Okay.
He's got his full like dark black suit on and whatnot. He's all decked out and ready to stop some crime or something. And so these guys are distracted, you said, right? From
Correct. They're distracted by a floating trash can.
Right. Would I know that that's Sauve or no?
You have worked together at least once before.
Right.
Oh, for time frame, this is 1 week since you guys fought together against one of the 7 Lords of Hell.
Right. Forgot we had done that. So
you might be slightly familiar with some of his style.
yes, right. Alright, so he's going to run in. As they're distracted, he's going to, using his psychic powers, basically create a baseball bat. A really hard metal baseball bat. And he's just going to swing it at the robber that's got something in his hands that looks like, like the one that looks like he's carrying loot of some kind.
Alright, that's smart. Alrighty, Swiftfoot. As you're running up, you see a robber who has like a large sack over his back of money. And he's running and he's staring at this trash can. And he's staring so intently, he does not see the psychic metal bat that's swinging right for his temple. So, I want you to do me a favor and roll to directly engage this. Okay. You hit. Okay, and when you directly engage, you gotta choose one. Resist or avoid their blows.
I'm going to take the bag of money from him.
Can I take them bag of money from them? Good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so you take the bag of money, and you actually find that's a bag of what appears to be actually like gems and jewelry.
Oh.
Yeah. So, pretty impressive. So you now have a bag of money in your hands you've taken from this guy. And what are you going to do with that money?
Well, the initial thought is to run away and, get it out of their hands so they can't get to it anymore.
Okay, is that what you'd like to do?
So is there anyone actually in the bank, or is this after hours now?
This is after hours. The bank has indeed closed.
Okay,
The only thing that's in the bank are maybe some of the straggling robbers that are still coming out. You're probably looking at a gang of about 10, 12 of these guys.
Yeah, so he's going to go secure the bag in some place that isn't inside the bank because the bank is clearly not secure at the moment.
All right, then. So, Swiftfoot, you run away with the money as these robbers are kind of looking in confusion, seeing their money going away, seeing a trash can flying next to them. So they're kind of split between 2 points here.
He's probably
And
gonna hop up on a roof or something and do that. That makes sense.
Nice. They certainly can't catch that. So while they're distracted by that, we have our third hero coming on to the scene. We have our delinquent, played by Norestra, the unpredictable Pyrie. Pyrie, you come onto the scene, and you see these guys distracted both by the floating trash can and by Swiftfoot running away with a big bag of jewels. What do you do to disrupt these guys further?
So Pyrie reaches down to his wrist and hits a couple buttons, and in comes a massive thunderstorm.
Massive, okay. Like how big are we talking?
Couple city blocks. Yeah, it covers the city. It's decent sized thunderstorm.
Okay, if you're doing something that big, I need for you, please, to roll freak for me. Oh, unleash your powers at me. Yeah,
It works.
it does. Okay, so it isn't unleash your powers. So that means on a 7 to 9, you either mark a condition or I tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
It's a giant thunderstorm. Have fun with it.
Fair enough. Okay, so Pyrie, you summon this giant thunderstorm here across the city, and it starts raining down in torrents. And lightning striking, crashing, massive booms. You can barely hear the alarm for how loud this thunderstorm is. But what happens with all the water going there, and it all kind of rushing everywhere, it actually disrupts your teammates a little bit. Because Sauvé, as you can see, is running alongside of these robbers. And you're running on the ground, I believe.
Oh, I'm flying.
Oh, you're flying. Okay. Okay, never mind then. Is this... Aha. Alrighty. Swiftfoot, as you took that money back up there, so you've been running around up there with the rain coming down. And so when you get up to the building, because you jumped up to a building to escape with the money, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Roof and stuff.
Okay, you get up on the building, and when you get up there, as you see this rainstorm kind of coming in, and all this water coming down in torrents, and you jump up to the building's ledge, you actually lose your footing a little bit, and you tumble, but you don't fall so much as the bag actually opens up, and the jewels actually start falling out the back of it.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so you have money raining down on the streets,
Rip.
as well as actual water.
He's gonna... Well, good.
Yeah, well, but congratulations, Pyrie, you did summon your giant rainstorm. That is also throwing off these guys. So,
I have a question.
fire away.
Do you guys know the little games like when you go to the arcade where you can maneuver the basket to catch the falling coins and stuff? I would like to do that with the trash can to catch the falling coins and gems.
I don't see a reason why you couldn't.
So now the trash can, it's like it's playing like a Pog or something. Just
100 points. Catch the cherries. Alrighty,
Hi-ho, cheerio.
So you're leaving these guys to go run and try to catch their money.
Jerry.
Apt. Okay, so Sove, you definitely do that. And as you're doing that, these guys who've been running out here, they realize now that they're being kind of assailed by some heroes, and they're not too fond of it. And they see you trying to go catch their money, and they don't know who
they see a trash can trying to catch their money.
That's true. They see a trash can, and they don't know exactly like what's going on with the trash can or who's summoned the rainstorm. And they can't really reach the guy who's up top. So, what they start doing instead is they start actually trying to kind of fire wildly towards your direction of that floating trash can, because they know something's up with it. And they don't hit you, but the bullets do start going through the windows that are actually on that building, and you can hear people screaming inside in panic. So, you're distracted with catching the money. Swiftfoot, you're up on the building. You're kind of gaining your footing there. So, I'm actually going to say, since you just summoned a rainstorm there, Pyrie, and you didn't, you're still kind of waiting, it looks like. What do you do when you hear this going on?
I hit a couple extra buttons. And now, spikes of ice are falling out of the clouds, targeting them.
Directly targeting these guys. Okay. So, so if you're targeting these guys, that's going to be directly engaged. So please roll to directly engage.
I'm kind of surprised it's not freak.
Because you're attacking them. So. Alrighty. You know the drill. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, or create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or fight the opposition.
I am actually going to create an opportunity for my allies.
Alrighty. So, clearly they are distracted by this, so that makes a sense, creating an opportunity. But you didn't choose to resist their blows or anything. But they don't actually see you, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Actually, no, where are you right now?
I'm just sitting behind another trash can down the street. Like a full dumpster. Just kind of peeking out and watching.
Okay. So, because you didn't try to resist or avoid their blows, one of the guys there that's kind of like in the back of the gang, they actually see you sticking your head out of there as you're watching what's going on. And they say, "Hey, somebody sees us!" And a couple of them start firing over in your direction. And because you're not being quite as careful, I'm going to have to ask you to roll or take a powerful blow.
Can I defend him?
You're currently having the trash can. If you want to defend him, and yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, actually, I'd say in this case.
Okay,
what's up?
Go ahead.
No, what were you going to do?
I was going to say, if he's distracted, but I'm on top of a roof, so.
You can still do something, you're fast.
That's true. I could try to defend him.
You can if you want to. You're probably the least distracted at the moment.
True. The only reason I said, can I defend him, is because you said they hollered over and said something, which would definitely get attention.
Right.
For sure.
So
Swiftfoot would look down, kind of see them coming at him. You said they fired the guns at him?
They're firing the guns, yeah, over at Pyrie there.
Right.
Behind a dumpster, yeah.
Right, so as they take their gun out, I think, Swiftfoot's just gonna, dive. Just jump off the roof and just dive directly at them to try to tackle them before they shoot.
Alrighty. That's okay, yeah, let's do that for the defense.
An important question no one asked. How tall is the building?
That is true.
Well, it's a bank, so I wouldn't imagine it'd be all that tall.
Well, you didn't jump up on the bank, though, you said.
Yeah, I just jumped up on L roof, so, clearly, that much more than 2 stories.
So it's probably 1 story.
About 3 stories, actually.
Oh, okay.
Let's say.
I jump pretty high, apparently.
Hey, you're a rabbit.
Right, which should mean I'm used to jumping down.
Exactly, so for you, this is nothing.
Perfect.
Yes. So yeah, 3 stories. You're jumping down. So yeah, go and if you're going to do that, yeah, go ahead and defend.
There you
Oof. Alrighty, nice. Okay, so we defend. You rolled saver.
go.
Choose.
Teach,
Go ahead.
Teach, do you want to be able to help me out with this so we get like a 10 instead of escalating the situation?
I was going to ask that. I can do this. So I see the bunny missile coming right down at them, and just my thought is that the angle I see, it's like, oh, he's not going to get there in time. So the next gem I go to catch, I grab instead of catching it in the trash can and look and toss it down at the ground where they are. It's a gem; it's not going to break. To distract them so he can attack them and stop this gunfire.
Nice. Okay, so you guys work together and do that. Sylvie distracts them with throwing their money on the ground, and these guys.
Before I spend that team, did you add 1 because you had influence?
Oh, that's right. No, I didn't.
So I don't need to do that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I've got influence.
Oh, nice.
That's right. If it's a defend roll, I forgot about that. Yep, that's a 10.
Very cool. So yeah, it's 10. That means on a 10, I don't think it costs you anything. So.
Nope. You do it, and you get to choose one of the good options.
There you go. Yeah, so you can add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I'll add team to the pool because I don't have any conditions and I've got influence over both my teammates. So
makes sense. So I will copy the Mr. Dude up here to make a team.
Mr. Dude is totally a Mr. Saturn.
Yes. Him. Okay, so team has been added to the pool, and Swiftfoot, you directly you helped out Pyrie there by jumping down. And when you engage on this guy, he kind of freaks out as he sees this giant rabbit like towering in at him because he wasn't expecting you to make that kind of a jump. So you actually managed to knock him down, and at the same time as that's going on, there's these ice spikes that are falling around you from all the rain, the ice rain now that Pyrie has made. And it's like making these guys panic, and they start to scatter. Like it's taking some of them out because it's like really heavy ice. It's knocking a few of them down. But a lot of them are trying to scatter about now, in a lot of fear and panic. So, since you were just saying that you wanted to do something, though, Sauve, these guys are starting to run away, and the money that was falling from the roof is starting to kind of stop because the guy holding the bag is not up there anymore. What do you do when you see these guys start to scatter after the attacks from your teammates?
Quick look around from my vantage point. Does it look like there's any cops on the way?
Not yet.
Note to self, yell at dad later. Looks around. They're going off in all different directions, you said?
There are. There's probably only about like 5 of them that are actually still up and trying to run. The other ones have been kind of down by the ice and slipping on the rain and all that stuff.
I am going to fly over to where the most of them are going to go, and I'm going to, still while invisible, just in the most commanding voice I can come up with. Is it very wise to run when you see nature and the city itself stopping you? My suggestion would be to stand down now, or else risk the full wrath of this city.
Okay. It sounds like you're trying to provoke them. Is that correct?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Roll to provoke, and we'll see what happens with these guys.
I'll take some potential.
Alrighty, so you go out there and you kind of try to do this big, booming voice. And it would be impressive if you weren't 16 and still struggling a little bit with the whole deep thing.
A little squeaky?
Little squeaky.
I don't know what you're talking about.
His voice
Beware
isn't
the
broken
wrath
yet.
of the city.
Right.
Oh,
So
crap, I hit the helium button.
You try to go out there and you try to scare these guys into stopping to move and stopping to run. And when they hear the voice, they do stop. But they stop when they start laughing at you because the voice sounds so like, oof. I'm going to need you to mark a condition. for embarrassing yourself in front of them.
I'm totally marking insecure.
Makes sense.
On the bright side, though, they are distracted and laughing at your compatriot who's just made a fool of himself. So, let's see. Let's go back to you, Pyre, because you can see all this happening. You have a pretty good vantage point.
Yeah, I imagine that he tries to go all booming voice, and he goes all Peter Brady with it.
Yeah.
Like
Pyre's
3
also
or 4 voice cracks.
Pyro's also chuckling over in the corner right there.
Rightfully so.
No, but so Pyro's going to step out,
Ooh.
show himself to the villains or to these thieves, and not in a deep, threatening voice, but just in his normal voice. Do I need to summon the Twister?
So, while these guys are laughing out, they do hear you. Some of them see you step out because there were still a few people that were kind of looking around there. And they see this kid walk out and say something about summoning a Twister. And one of them pulls a gun out on you because they don't know that it's you who's been doing all this weather stuff. And he says, "Yeah, go ahead, kid. I'll summon a bullet."
All right. So with that, I'm going to summon the Twister right on top of them.
Alrighty, for this, I'm going to say go ahead and roll to unleash your powers because you're creating a big event there.
Oh boy! Actually,
You're close. Wait, what's up?
do we have team? Do we have any
We
team
do.
left?
We have 2 team on the pool.
Team? What team?
What?
I'm going to use team selfishly.
Ooh,
Yup.
Describe how you're doing that.
Oh, I know exactly how he's doing this. I'm getting totally wrecked off of this, aren't I?
You're already in a bad place.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. All right. So first off, when you use team selfishly, clear a condition or mark potential. The first time in a session you use team to a teammate take +1 forward. Well, sorry, not helping you.
Aw.
But you get potential or clear condition.
I do. So in this case, being nervous about using the tool still, the tornado is a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger than he really wanted it to be.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty.
The trash can, the floating
so
trash
that-
can gets caught up in it too.
The floating trash can's not having a good time, right?
Alrighty. So you're summoning this big Twister down, and you're being trying to take up everybody in it. I'm guessing.
Yeah, basically it catches anybody who was within the blast radius. So I'm not sure if Swiftfoot was in the radius, but I know Sauve's toast.
I mean, I did jump down and punch somebody.
You did jump down and punch somebody, so you're technically in there.
So yes, I get both of them. Yeah, that
So,
works. Get both
well-
of them caught up in the tornado.
What we're going to see here is we see the skies darken as a giant funnel cloud appears in the midst of all this ice and hail and everything that's been coming down. And it just comes down like a cone, going exactly onto the middle of these guys, these robbers. And the wind is whipping back and forth and it's throwing them all around. They're bonking heads together, rolling around on the gravel streets. And when everything clears, the robbers, they are on the ground, dazed, confused, knocked out, what have you. And Sauve and Swiftfoot, you guys are relatively okay, actually, except for the fact that you're kind of also sprawled out underneath a mass of some of the bodies of these guys.
Ow.
May I?
May?
No. He may be sprawled out. Sauve kept latched onto the trash can, so when everything dissipates, we just see he still has, because he has the face mask here and the domino mask, so he's got the face mask pulled down, and he is just yakking away into the trash can on top of all of the jewels.
Oh,
Ow. Ugh.
One of the robbers mutters up there, "Strange weather we're having today."
That's what happens when you deal with somebody who controls it.
Can I have my money back?
No!
No, somebody goes, sure, it's in the trash can under my vomit.
One of the robbers tries to reach inside for it in a half-hearted attempt.
Swiftfoot just kind of grabs him and just pushes him away.
There's not a lot of fight left in these guys. So, actually, it's up to you. What do you guys do? You have these guys knocked out around you, and you can hear the distant sounding of potential police sirens brought by all the alarms and the strangeness. And you do know that vigilantism isn't really looked on too favorably in this city.
Yeah. I guess you should probably go. Leave the jewels behind and let's get out of here.
Yeah. Just... Oh.
Yeah. I don't...
God.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Tried.
Can you do me a quick favor and just frost up this trash can real quick?
Yeah. So
once the trash can is frosty, he takes one of the unconscious robbers and writes "Jewels in here" in the frost, using the other guy's fingers.
Nice. All right, so you do that. You okay. You use the robber's fingers in there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's smart. Very nice.
It is. Very nice.
Alrighty, so you guys have done that, and you can hear the sirens approaching. And you guys are going to be feet out of there, or what are you going to do?
Well, as quickly as...
yeah.
And so one very vomiting person and a very dizzy rabbit can go, but yes.
Okay, so the three of you leave the scene here, and you can hear the police cars kind of skidding up just as you're getting out of there. And you can hear shouting going on behind you that you know to be the various police sergeants and detectives and such who are shouting out "Dang heroes! We had this!"
They didn't have this.
I totally didn't have this. Also, gotta warn somebody, please.
We didn't have time.
What?
Well, we're there. We just need to end it.
I guess. You should maybe not make me sick to my stomach next time?
I will say, I do feel bad for whoever has to get those jewels out because they're gonna have to sift through muffle.
Yeah, that was horrible. But it was fun.
Yes. That was very fun. Very fun indeed. I think we find an alley someplace and just kind of Swiftfoot basically sits Sophie down next to him on the ground just so we can both recover for a bit.
Okay. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out.
I guess I should turn the rain off, shouldn't I?
You know, that might be a fairly nice idea.
It is still coming down in droplets, heavy and hard, yeah.
Yes. He's gonna turn the storm off.
Thank you.
Alright, yeah, you push a couple buttons and the rain trickles off, and there's nothing else left but a light mist in the air.
The weather forecasters around here hate me.
They're not the only ones who hate you right now.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So as you guys are hanging out there in the alleyway, I'm gonna say specifically, Swiftfoot, you actually do get a bit of a tingle along the back of your neck. as you get a feeling like somebody is watching you.
It's not me this time, I promise.
So if it looks around, like up and down the alleyway and upwards. Feel like someone's watching us right now.
As you're looking around, we actually see like a big shot of the night sky as the clouds are clearing and things are becoming beautiful and clear once again. And we don't see anything aside from a very slim shadow that disappears in the very next panel.
Whatever.
So, anyway, I think all things considered, that went well.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry about dropping the jewels. I thought
It's okay.
Thought I could make that jump.
I got to catch most of them in that now disgusting trash can.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm going to hear about this one.
I don't think anyone knows it's us, so... Heck, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah. I know.
No, you're fine.
Well, I should probably get home before anyone notices I'm gone. Swiftfoot says that, but doesn't actually make a move to stand up yet. At some point, anyway, because... Okay. Maybe I should sit here for a little bit longer.
Are you okay?
I'm dizzy. Not to mention that, I don't know, just...
You'd think with someone who can run like you can, that spinning at speeds like that wouldn't be that big of a deal.
It's the idea of being whipped around by wind. It's kind of different when it's not under your own power.
That's fair, I suppose.
Anyway, Swiftfoot gets himself up, uses the wall to stand himself up, and he reaches a hand down for Sauve.
Sauve, do you take your friend's hand?
I do.
He helps him up, get to his feet, steadies him a bit.
Do you want, me to help get you home?
I'll be fine. Just
Are
won't
you
get off.
sure?
No, but it's... Why'd you have in mind?
Piggyback ride, I'll just fly you home?
Sure. If you're offering, I'll take it.
You good on getting yourself home, Peter?
Yep, I'm good.
You really need to figure out how to ride off with like a tornado for legs, just because it would look really, really cool.
So, as you say that, Bear summons a cloud to fly off in.
Like a little nimbus cloud?
Yes.
Yes! There's a whole thing where he goes upside down and flashes the camera.
Sometimes I just really wish I could do that.
But be an obnoxious prick with a self-centered sense of entitlement?
No, summon a cloud to fly away.
Oh. Well, I can make it look like you're flying on nothing.
No, it's alright.
And as he takes off, Sauve goes invisible, so it looks like the bunny is just riding on nothing.
Yeah, that's great. They're gonna see the flying rabbit. At least I'm wearing my suit.
Well, if you move your feet like you're running, they'll think you can run on air.
He'll throw off all the bad guys.
Right. Is it a weekday, by the way? Like, it's school tomorrow?
It is a weekday, and school is indeed tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get home, get to sleep, school in the morning, and all that.
So, Sophie will fly him where he needs to go. Close enough, too, so he lands, gets him back, and then flies off towards his own house because he has to get back before his parents do.
Right.
Because, one, if he doesn't, he's in deep trouble, and two, he knows his brother's going to want to know what the hell happened.
Ooh, nice. True. Very true.
And three, he has to stop to pick up a box of Twinkies.
Priorities. Alrighty. So, Sylvie, you're dropping off Swiftfoot back home, and then you're going off on your own. We'll stick with Swiftfoot right now. So, what's your house look like, by the way?
So, with that many siblings and whatnot, it's going to have to be at least a 2-story house. It's probably pretty big, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I mentioned that I believe his parents are well off. So it's one of those that's got like the kind of like the large porch and whatnot, and like the balcony in the back of the house, where it's got the the back entrance like on the second floor that goes down, and that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the backyard, there's it's not a huge backyard, but it's pretty good size and whatnot. There's a shed. There's there was a spot where like swing sets used to be, but then all of us screwed up, so they got rid of it because no one was using it anymore. But he's hidden a backpack out there. He takes his steps into behind or he goes into the garage and changes out of his or slips his suit off and slips it into this backpack, and he's got his normal clothes on, and he just flips his backpack on, kind of makes his way to this second floor just directly from the garage in the back. It's one of these things. He's not out at any time that anybody necessarily. It's not uncommon for him to come home late at night at this point, and no one seems to give a darn. Mm-hmm. At least that's what he's noticed anyway. But so he's just gonna go in the back and try to just go right to his room and try to not get really noticed by anybody because he just doesn't want to talk to anybody.
So, important question then, because you're in a house with a lot of brothers and sisters, and even if you're wealthy, sometimes you stack up. Do you have your own room, or do you share a room with one of your siblings?
He's 16, so he would have his own room. I think his youngest brother and sister probably share a room.
Okay.
And his other sister's 20. She probably doesn't live there anymore.
Makes sense. Alrighty, so you're sneaking back through the house. It is a little after 9 here, so the house is not absolutely dead. You can still hear your parents.
Yeah. If it's 9 o'clock,
downstairs.
They wouldn't. It wouldn't be too uncommon for them to come home around then.
Exactly. But you sneak in through the second floor anyway, right?
Yeah, sneak's not quite. He doesn't make a lot of noise. He just kind of slinks in and just goes to his room.
Okay, so you go straight to your room.
Mm-hmm.
No detours?
No.
Alrighty. So you sneak through the house and go to your room, and you can hear the TV going on downstairs as your parents are watching. You can hear one of your older siblings. Your oldest is 20. She's out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can hear one of your younger siblings then, who's still up downstairs, and you can hear them kind of babbling about something. But you can tell from the way that your folks are talking that they're excited about the news report going on, and the whole honey, did you hear the thing going on at the bank out there?
So the reason why Jacob wanted to go to his room first is drop off his backpack, because that'd be the only weird thing about him coming home that late. But other than that, once he drops that off and kind of is shaking himself out of everything, he walks kind of nonchalantly downstairs, and goes to see his parents, Catherine and Peter, and his Younger brother, 15-year-old brother Andrew would probably be the one who's still up. Kind of walks downstairs slightly to see the news report.
Okay. They're clearly enraptured by the TV as you're walking downstairs. But even so, Andrew's apt enough that he actually hears you coming down. And he says to you, Jacob, did you hear about this? This is wild.
Just what I heard coming in the door upstairs. Why? What's up? What happened?
So there's this crazy bank robbery going on, and like all this weather that was coming down, and like it's just like an apocalypse out there. But all the bad guys, I think, like they're all knocked out. It was like a superhero.
Yeah, there was a lot of rain. I know. I got a little wet myself.
But I didn't see who it was.
Is that what was going on? I thought we just got a random spontaneous downpour.
Yeah, we've been doing that over the past couple of weeks, but but it's just so cool out there. And your mother immediately interjects and says, I don't think that's great at all. Like those superheroes running around out there, it's so dangerous.
Oh,
like somebody
don't worry.
get killed.
Nah, they'll be fine. Look, no one got hurt much, it looks like, from the news report. Except the bad guys, and who cares about the bad guys getting hurt?
But I saw some of those icicles falling out there, and some of them were 9 inches long. Like, that's a big enough icicle to kill somebody.
Icicles, huh? I didn't see icicles. I just got hit by rain.
Well, you shouldn't be coming home so late anyway, but...
Oh, I was just out with, a couple friends. Nothing, just, hanging out. We got to talking for a while, and, just...
Oh, well, it's nice you're hanging out with friends again. Like, we were afraid that you weren't going to hang out with anybody for a while, and, like, since you've gotten so strange and secluded, and, like, you just stopped, like, doing stuff with the track, and you can hear your dad, like, trying to kind of say, Carrie! But your mom just keeps going on and on.
I go to meet still.
Honey, your heart's not in it anymore. She's trying to shift your labels.
That's fine.
Jacob.
What's she trying to do?
She's trying to shift your mundane down. And she's saying you're not acting normally anymore, and she's trying to shift your danger up.
Okay. Sure.
It sounded more like freak up to me.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's go with that. Let's go with freak.
That's fine.
Yeah, you're not acting normal. You're singing to yourself. You're being weird and crazy. That's definitely freak.
That is more freak. Yeah, to me that's normal. What?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so you'll take that. Okay.
Yeah. So he nods. He just kind of gives a shrug, like, just it's not really my thing so much anymore. But no, I still go to the meets. Just I don't know. Track kind of got boring.
Well, if anything's wrong, honey, you talk to us, right?
Of course. And that pause actually happens. Yes, of course I would.
She nods at that, satisfied. Says, okay, good, honey. And then she turns her head immediately back to the news report. So, ooh, there's that detective again.
What detective?
Oh, that handsome fellow. Oh,
William
what was his
Lamontagne?
name? Yes.
What do you say?
William Lamontagne. Technically William Lamontagne Jr., but...
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Detective William Lamontagne. You can see him like on the telephone there, and your father looks a little bit put off, but whatever.
What's wrong with that guy? Just Jacob looks over at him.
You know what I mean? No, nothing's wrong with him. He's got things together out there. He's got a good job, a nice head of hair. Looks over at her husband. And even though he's a rabbit, you can see that some of his hair fur up there is going kind of thinning out. Like, it's been some time coming.
Jacob just kind of shakes his head like, I'm going to grab something to eat real quick out of the fridge and just going to go kind of rest. I'm a little tired.
All right, honey. Don't work too hard. It's just school night.
I know. So Jacob just goes into the kitchen, grabs just a salad of some kind, and takes it upstairs and to his room. Just goes in there and gets on his computer and just starts typing out a few things.
Alrighty. You go back up to your room, and we have a panel shift where we're following now the fellow who left you behind, Sove, as you are flying back home.
No,
And you come back home? Whoop.
he is
Actually, no, we're already
stopping really
flying.
quickly. He's stopping really quickly at a small little convenience store that he always stops at when he's in costume, especially because he knows the Night Cork, who doesn't ask questions about the guy coming in the full face mask and the domino mask. He just, so walks in. Hey, what's happening? Charlie goes, buys the Twinkies, hands the money, and then goes out. Then he goes home after the Twinkie box is bought.
Yeah, and Charlie just says night.
See you later.
You get your box of Twinkies, and then you fly off back home, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So you know the situation now because you've done it 1,000,000 times. Where you come home, both your parents are gone because police business is going on, but your
Yep.
brother Michael,
Yep.
he's up and
just
waiting
of
for you.
note, just of note, this isn't a house. This is actually an apartment. It's a decent, it's like a higher end apartment, but it's still an apartment.
Mhm.
So it's not like it's a home. So he has to instead of going up the elevator and dinging and all that, he has figured out that he has finally figured out he can phase through objects. So he has also finally figured out that small things he's carrying, he can also phase them through objects. So to have a little fun with his brother, he phases in, waits about a couple minutes for his brother to walk into the kitchen, and just phases his arm through the pantry door with the box of Twinkies.
Ah! Michael immediately jumps when he sees that, and then he calls out, says, "Henry!" And he takes the box of Twinkies. He looks
Walks
at
out. At this point, Henry is no longer in costume. That is in his bag now.
Michael looks down at the Twinkies. I only like the right ones. There's all these left ones in here.
Those are Twix, not
Oh.
Twinkies.
Darn it. Whatever.
Dork.
They sound the same to me.
What is chocolate? What is sponge cake?
Well, next time, give me some Twix bars.
Well, yes, but you said you wanted Twinkies this time.
Well, yeah, but
Anyway, what did Dad say on the news?
he said the normal stuff. He hates that Sove guy. He wishes heroes would leave the job to the cops.
Ugh.
The same old stuff.
So the same stuff we're going to hear about when he gets home.
Yeah. There was a really funny shot, though, of one of the officers who was reaching into this grody-looking trash can. His face was the best.
You know why his face is like that, bud?
Oh, why?
So, did you see the tornado that got summoned, or was that not part of the news?
I know there was a big weather report. There was a tornado in the city. Yeah, was that?
Yeah. So, you know that one of my hero friends can do things like that. So he summoned the tornado, and I got caught in it. And the reason the officer was making the face is because he had to reach through my vomit.
Oh, that's gross. I love it. That's awesome.
I know, right? Isn't it so good?
Yeah. Oh, sweet. I don't know what their deal is. You do good stuff out there.
Yeah, no. Nobody got hurt. Everything got back safe. I don't see what the problem is. But Dad'll learn eventually. He has to.
Yeah, he'll either learn or he'll try to arrest you. One of the two.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Like see him trying to put cuffs on you.
Exactly. It's going to be even more fun when I take the mask and be like, yeah, go ahead, try it, Dad. Try it. Come on.
So you had your guys with you there last night then? Or tonight? You have that team that you were playing with? Nice.
Yeah.
So, was the person who did the weather thing, was that the really cool guy then with the, he had a wristwatch or something?
Yeah, something like that. He called it something. I wasn't paying attention.
That sounds like a really cool superpower. Can you do that?
What, put on a wristwatch? Yeah.
Well, no, like do a wristwatch that summons like special stuff. Like, why don't you have any cool gadgets?
Michael, do you think I'm smart enough to invent gadgets?
Oh, no, you are pretty dumb.
Michael!
What does I mean? You're not smart enough, no.
Michael!
I'm agreeing with you.
You're not so...
He's a Twinkie. These are pretty good.
Just yeah.
So, Sove, as like that's going on with you guys watching the news report, 'cause I'm assuming you watch it together. You can kind of see like your father out there and like some of the other police officers that you know. You don't see your mother there, but you know she's already busy. As that's going on, though, we're actually going to follow our final hero to see where he goes to end his night. Pyrie, you're flying in your Nimbus cloud. Where are you going after you left the group?
So Pyre's headed home, and he lives in the nicer side of town. He was adopted by a billionaire named Chesterfield. He goes by Chet or Chester.
Nice.
And so, it's one of those. He was adopted, so there's no questions really asked. He comes back and he's like, "Hey, it's late, so the old man's asleep." And so he just kind of walks in, says hi to the not concierge, but kind of the personal secretary to Chet.
Kind of like the butler, so to speak, or something.
Not necessarily a butler, but kind of like his personal, like, everything, like, personal assistant.
I gotcha.
You're Alfred.
I was gonna say you're Wesley, but yeah, Alfred works.
It says hi to him, and then head straight up to the room.
As in the room being your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, now this is a pretty wealthy place, right? You said?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So, what's this fellow's name? The assistant who greets you?
Sam.
Sam. Okay. So, Sam kind of looks at you as you come in, and he says, "Another busy night, Perry."
Well, yeah. Plus, it was storming. It was a little weird.
Very weird indeed. I'm assuming you're retiring to your chambers again tonight?
Yes.
Important question for you. You said you had a seamstress that works on your outfit and such.
Yes.
Is this the same seamstress or is it somebody else?
Someone else.
Okay. No problem.
No, the Sam has no clue.
Not a problem. Still, he does greet you when you come in. And you said you were going to your room, so he doesn't stop you or anything. And you can hear the old man, as you call it, Chester. Chesterfield or Chester?
His name's Chesterfield, but he goes by Chat or Chester.
Okay, Chesterfield, cool. You can hear him snoring loudly, as he's wont to do early on in the evenings. And when you get up to your room, you actually find a box on top of your bed, a nice white box with a red bow on top of it.
That's not suspicious at all.
It's sitting
Is it
right on
ticking?
top of your bed.
Is it ticking?
You do not hear any ticking from where you are as you enter the room, and doesn't appear to be any ticking as you get closer to it.
So yeah, we'd open the box at this point.
Alrighty. So, Perry, you open that box, pulling off the bow in a big flourish. And the sides of the box fall away. And you see on it a really wonderful sweater vest with the Chesterfield logo that's kind of like imprinted on the side of it, like on the on one of the chests of it. And there's a little note there that just says, "A gift to make you feel more like the family."
That's nice.
And underneath, in parentheses, it says, "I expect you to wear this."
So he's gonna hang it up in the closet.
All right, you do so, hang up in the closet against a number of other different kind of vests that have been given to you as well by Mr. Chesterfield. Quite a few different kind of gifts that you've been given, all the same well-meaning things. So after you put away your vest and push aside the boxes and you have your bed to you, do you do anything special for the end of the evening, or do you retire for the night?
Nothing special tonight. Just turn the music on and go to sleep.
Okay. So, Perry, you go to sleep. And the evening ends for our heroes. And we're going to actually rejoin you guys on the very next day, but in the late afternoon. It's going to be
no
late.
School.
Huh?
Oh,
Yes.
no school.
No, there's still school.
Mm.
You guys are in your afternoon classes, as in, like, second half of the day.
Gotcha.
So it's the period right after class here. We're going directly over to Henry. And we can see a panel of Henry sitting in the back of... actually, you can sit wherever you want if you want to sit in the back of the front. But you're sitting in class here, period after lunch. And it's one of those wonderful classes where you can have a shared desk. But what class is it that you would be having right after lunch?
Well, if it's a shared desk, this is definitely a science class.
Nice. And yes, that makes sense. Okay, so you are having your science class right after lunch.
Chemistry, to be specific.
Chemistry works. Good. I'll make a note of that. And an important question for you. We can actually give this to our doomed Jacob. Are you in Henry's class? Are you guys sharing this class together, or would you be separate?
I'd be in the same class. Whether or not we're sitting at the same desk, I don't know.
Oh, no, don't worry. Because sitting at the desk with Henry is your boyfriend, Joey.
Oh, fun, yay.
Yeah, you guys are going to share a desk. Okay, so you two are in the same classroom here. And Henry, as you and Joey are sharing a desk, Joey kind of gives you kind of like a happy nudge and kind of like gives you kind of a wink as he like has a note that's written there next to you saying, "Excited for tomorrow night." This is an important question for you. Tomorrow night, there's a big event that's going on that you've been excited for and saving up for probably about a couple weeks now. And it's like going to be the talk of the school. What is that event that you would be so excited and raring to go to with your boyfriend?
Well, I have a very important question to ask first. What time of year is this?
Ooh, good question. I'm going to say it's fall.
Okay, well, in that case, here in Emerald City, yes, there's homecoming, but it's not as special a thing as in other places. It's a thing. But what's the big thing in Emerald City is, well, it's an interesting event because what's going on here, what happened here is it's an event that is, it's formal, but at the same time it isn't, because it's an event that was started, don't know the name of the school, but it was started just as a way to release tension type of thing, and it's taken on a life of its own. A formal event is called the Wrecking Ball. And basically, a couple of representatives from each class show up, and they basically go full destruction derby on a bunch of things, while everyone else is sitting there at tables watching this formally. And then there's a dance afterwards.
Okay.
Come on! The Wrecking Ball?
Destruction derby with dance to follow.
Formal.
Formally.
Formal dance, because you gotta wear a beautiful dress after destroying property.
Oh, half the people in there, they show up and they do the destruction derby in their formal attire.
Okay.
So you will usually find whoever, like, whatever female is doing it will show up in some ridiculous, like, wonderful evening gown and just then go full on John Wick on some sandbags or something. It's crazy.
He says representative from each class.
Couple representatives from each class usually. They try and restrict it, like they restrict it a little bit. If you're under the age of 15, you need parental permission, obviously. But so.
All right, so you guys are excited and prepped to go to the Wrecking Ball tomorrow evening. It's the talk of the school. All your friends are kind of like whispering around it, and the teachers have a hard time keeping people focused, of course. So, yeah, next to you, Joey then has that note. He's saying, like, are you excited for tomorrow?
Who isn't?
He's like, I know, right? It's got to be so great.
We agreed on bow ties, right?
I thought we agreed on ascots.
One and one?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, what color did we pick again?
I thought we went with red.
Okay, good. That's what I went with too.
Okay, good. Whew.
Yeah, so just a normal like suit, red top. Yeah, okay, good. It would be really bad if we showed up and didn't match. And oh boy.
Yeah, no kidding. That'd be the worst. But no, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we should be.
And yeah, I'm kind of low on money for this time. But you got it covered, right?
Yeah, I pre-bought the tickets last week.
Right. But I mean, like for the bats and such to break up some stuff. Like we need like the equipment.
Oh, to buy the stuff to hand to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be good.
Okay, good. Just make sure, because it's really important.
You just want to hand Sophia the giant plastic pig, don't you?
I mean, it is really fun. As you guys are talking, the teacher actually speaks up. And you hear say, Mr. Lamontagne, is there something you'd like to share with the rest of the class? Very good. I thought not. She looks back down, and she actually is focusing now on Jacob. Hi there, you're sitting in the class too.
Yes.
And as you're sitting there, the teacher resumes her lessons. Oh, of course. The teacher resumes her lessons, and she kind of like looks at you, and she says, "Now for a student who is paying attention, Mr. Ellis." And she asks you a question about like what you guys have been studying in class. Like she asks you for a chemistry equation. And I'm not gonna make you roll for this because you're an okay enough student. But
Yes.
I gotta stop having windows open, it distracts me.
No problem.
There. But yeah, she asked you a question about what you're studying, and it doesn't trip you up at all. But what does trip you up a little bit is the fact that the chemical that she asked you about kind of sounds a little bit familiar to you. And it sounds like one of those chemicals that an assistant of yours, somebody was looking into the thing that made you into what you are.
Dr. Collins.
Indeed.
Yes.
It was one of those chemicals they mentioned as being a possible counteracting agent to what you've been experiencing.
Okay.
And that strikes you because she brings up the fact that you guys are going to be experimenting with such a chemical in the coming days.
Oh.
And she warns you, like, remember this chemical it can be very hazardous, so we're all going to wear our gloves. But yes, indeed, just remember also your basic rules of reactions and your bases and acids and various chemistry things that I know about.
Okay. So Jacob's like writing down a few things and whatnot. Like he's been writing things on his notepad, which is his notebook, which, as it turns out, isn't really much of what's going on in class. But he's so right. He takes that and he's like rewrites down the name of it because he pulls it up and it's like, yeah, all right, next sheet. He raises his hand real quick.
Yes,
Miss Hardy.
Miss Hardy. Thank you.
Are we starting that today?
No. That's not for another several days. It'll be early next week, of course.
Okay.
Though thank you for reminding the rest of the class who can pay attention. Now,
As she says that, Henry just sort of whispers to Joey, "She's looking at me, isn't she?"
Joey kind of nods, and he's very good at that whole, like, looking forward at the teacher and looking like he's paying attention, when he's actually, like, saying, yeah, she is.
He gets even redder and slinks down lower in the chair.
As you guys are having your class, we're going to our friend Perry, who is a grade below you, but is no less aware of, like, all the chattering that's been going on with the whole wrecking ball going on. Perry, you're in a class that has something to do with social studies.
So, social studies?
We can go with that. We can go with current events, social studies, like anything that kind of strikes you. Politics, economics, all that jazz.
Sociology.
Yeah, sociology.
That's a bit much for that age, but yeah.
Yeah, it does. But if you want to, we can do that.
Probably government class would be his style.
Fantastic. Okay, so you are in your government class. And there's a teacher at the front who is well known to you as being, like, very studious, direct, actually pretty helpful to you, and she clearly is somebody who cares greatly about your advancement. What's her name?
Rose?
Last name. This is Mrs. Rose?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say my name, say my name.
Actually, a slight edit. She is Miss Rose, or Ms. Yeah, you can say Miss. Miss Rose. And she's standing at the front of the class, and she's actually writing down diagrams about some of the some government that you'd be very familiar with, because she's writing about the current government structure of the city. And she's writing up there about the way heroes are kind of treated and looked at, and the Superhero Act, which you know.
For reference, he is wearing the sweater vest from last night.
Nice. Good. She's writing on the board about the Superhero Act, which she explains to you guys. I'm talking to you about how this Hero Act is meant to keep the city safe and meant to limit the amount of wild heroes that are out there gallivanting around and endangering the populace and themselves. And she actually, what are you doing in the class? Are you like paying attention? Are you slouched?
He's slouched. He's not really into the class.
Alrighty. So you may not be into the class, but Miss Rose is definitely in to you learning. So she calls on you and says, Perry, I would like your opinion on a very important matter that we're talking about here. What are your thoughts on vigilantes as they stand? I'm sure we're all aware of what happened last night with the bank robbery and what was clearly superheroing going on. And we're also aware, too, of how the government in general frowns upon such acts, but some say that these acts are necessary. Perry, what is your decision?
Superhero. What superhero? I wasn't superhero.
Nobody said that you were. But I want your feedback, your engagement.
Oh, well, I'm not a superhero.
No, that's not the question. The question is Chesterfield the last name? Or is that just...
That's the first name.
First name? Okay.
That's
fine. The question, Perry, is it good government, or what is your opinion on superheroes being regulated?
I didn't know they were regulated.
You didn't know.
But I think they should be.
Oh, very good. And why should they be regulated?
I mean, they get to decide who's right and wrong? No. That's not right.
Very good. I certainly do see your point. That's a very aptly put point, that there should not be one person who's in charge of what's right or what's wrong, of course. In fact, we all are able to make our own decisions about who we can be and what we can choose to do with our lives. And I'm in agreement with you, Perry, that perhaps, well, it's not from my opinion, but perhaps it is true that we need a little bit more freedom to make our own choices without superheroes lording over us. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Now, what she's trying to do she's trying to also change your labels, because she wants you to agree to be a little bit more a little bit more independent, superior. So she's trying to raise your superior up, and she's trying to lower your... what was it? I need labels in front of me.
Sounds like freaking me. I don't know.
No, yeah, she's trying to raise your superior up, and she's actually, trying to lower your freak down, because we don't need superheroes to make our lives better.
So Perry's going to reject this label shift.
Okay.
On the grounds that he doesn't see himself as a superhero.
Good grounds. Okay, so you need to roll to reject. That was influence. Okay, so...
Let's roll flat, plus if you've got...
Yeah, roll flat. Was it...
Unless you've got the delinquent, I don't...
It's flat. Yeah. Influence would apply, but it doesn't apply here. And if you have, I don't care what you think, it's a +2.
Which I don't believe you do. Yeah, so it's your flat roll. Nice. Okay, so when you reject
Hey.
somebody's influence, on a hit, you successfully hold to yourself and tune them out. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. Clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift 1 label up and 1 label down, your choice. Cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
Cancel the influence and take +1 forward against them.
Okay, so you're canceling Miss Rose's influence?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a +1 forward against Miss Rose now, and yeah, she says these words to you about being independent and such, and like us being our own superheroes and whatever. Whatever, you don't care about that tribe. So you kind of you do your best to nod and look like you're paying attention. But as soon as she's done talking and is looking at somebody else to, of course, offer a counterpoint, I'm guessing your head's already back on your desk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or back in a book or something. Yeah. Probably back in a book.
Alrighty. So the rest of the day seems to proceed fairly normally for you. And we're getting to the end of the day here, where you guys are just about to go home. And remember, it is the night before the big event. And I actually have an important question here first for Henry. It's the night before the big event, and you've been saving up for a long time. But you have things that you need to do, I'm guessing, tonight, yes?
Need to do?
Or maybe want to
No.
do. Oh no. It's the night before the big event, and you've been saving up for a while. So, before the event, in the evening, naturally, you have a job that you need to do. You have a part-time job.
I do.
Yep. So, that is something you do have to take care of in this evening. Are you going to actually go to that job?
I mean, yes.
Good.
Because depending on what he's assigned to do, if he's lucky enough to get the delivery shift, he can just bring Joey with him in the car because no one cares.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, so you're going to be going to work on your part-time job in the evening. Just for reference, where are you going to go, Jacob, after school?
Oh, he goes most times after school right now. He's going to run out to the outskirts of town and go to Dr. Collins' lab, his sanctuary.
Okay.
Especially now that he's got this information that they're going to be using this drug that he was talking about.
Okay, so you make your run. We're going over to your little hideaway. I'm going to actually give you the choice here. Henry, since you're working your part-time job this evening, does that happen directly after school? Does it happen late in the evening?
Directly after school.
Okay, so you're going to be heading right there after school.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we'll follow you then right away as you go to your school and you go to your job. As you go, yeah, you said you could take Joy with you at the that shift. So I want to give you a little bit of freedom here. What do you want to do for that part-time job tonight?
Whatever I'm assigned to do.
Ooh, very good. Okay, you are not assigned, unfortunately, to do your delivery. And I saw that.
Sad face.
You have to work the floor. So the good old life of being a waiter / busboy.
I mean, that's good for tonight because it's more tip money.
Exactly. So when you get to your job, there's already some folks there eating, and somebody kind of greets you as you come in, He says, "Hey, Henry! Good to
Mr.
see you.
Samedi.
Oh, you're here to work a shift.
You've got me assigned.
Ah, that I do. Good boy, good boy." And he tells you to come back and get ready and get yourself dressed and all cleaned up to go.
And so he goes into the back and quickly switches into what I'm going to refer as the Olive Garden waiter uniform, which is just black slacks, a black button down, and not even like the typical like Italian vest, because like it's fancy, but it's not fancy. So it's just the black slacks, the black button down. I would say black like non-slip shoes, sneakers, but they're really just an old pair of his dad's black like, old work shoes because it was cheaper.
Nice. So that's your work uniform.
Yep.
Okay. And knowing all
With a little name tag that says Henry, which he doesn't have the heart to tell Mr. Samedi that he spelled his name with a Y instead of an I.
It's the way it's supposed to be spelled.
He doesn't have the heart to correct him.
Now, because you weren't quite sure what you're going to be doing this evening, Joey was kind of tagging along, kind of hopeful. But when he hears you're working like the floor, instead of going home, he actually does take a table because he likes to support you like that. He does it so he takes a table while he can do some of his schoolwork and watch you work just a little bit.
Yep.
But as you start working, you realize that it actually quickly starts to be a little bit busy. Like busier than you expect it to be, which just means more tips for you. What I'm going to need you to do is, when you work a busy shift at Samedi's,
You custom move me. I love it.
you have to roll plus mundane.
I can do mundane.
Yes, you can.
Giving a Janice a mundane roll, seriously?
I am.
Boom.
Okay. Because this is your everyday job. It's what you do for life. So, on a hit, you have a successful night. On a 10 plus, choose 2. You impress yourself, either clear condition or mark potential as you describe your awesome night. Somebody you know from your daily life is there, not Marco Samedi. Explain who is there and how you impress them, and take +1 forward against them. You impress your boss, take +4 forward against Marco Samedi. Don't get used to it. You pick up the word around town as you listen to customers gab. You may ask the GM one question about the current events or the people living in the city.
Okay, so first things first. We're definitely going to be rumor mongering here.
Makes sense.
So when it comes to what he's listening and all that, the obvious talk of the town is the bank robbery yesterday.
Okay.
And the question that Henry wants to, because the bank robbery itself, not necessarily a huge deal, but the speech that his father gave, even though he's not telling anyone that's his father, about the heroes need to leave stuff, yada yada. The question he's asking is, what is the general pulse around town about the quote unquote vigilante heroes who stopped the bank robbery?
Okay, very nice. Okay, as you're listening around to folks, you're kind of just like leaning in a little bit closer as you hear certain words popping up. And the general pulse
Wiping the
you get,
table a little extra as he leans in.
oh, what was it? The general pulse you get from people around the bank robbery that went last night is that people actually tend to like it. They tend to be kind of in favor of it, but they misattribute it because they're not quite sure who these vigilantes were. Some of them that are aware of like the crazy stuff that happened with the weather assume it was the same crazy fellow who made the now Crater Park in the middle of the city. Others, though, are wondering, like, was that, like, Nightshade? I heard about him. No, like, it might be somebody else. Like, do we have that many vigilantes? So, in general, though, you hear a lot of people seem to be kind of positive about it. They seem actually pretty on your side as far as, like, general populace goes.
Cool. And I'm totally impressing Joey.
Okay, good stuff. So, you get +1 then against forward against Joey. And it makes sense you're impressing him because, I mean, you're wearing those old black pants, you're looking slick.
They may be slightly tighter than they should be.
Yeah, like, he's certainly very...
What is it with my characters this week wearing tight clothing?
Just natural.
Nobody wants to see me in tight clothing.
No, we don't. So you work your shift, and you actually pick up a lot of tips because, again, it's a really good night, lots of people, and you make more than you need for tomorrow. About halfway through the shift, though, Joey does have to leave because he has his own things he has to take care of. But he was very impressed with you. So...
little peck on the cheek before he leaves.
Absolutely.
Because why not?
Yeah, he calls it his tip.
Oh.
So you work your entire shift, no problems at all. Marco comes out at the end of the night, he like smacks your back proudly, says, "Hey, my Henry is like, this is the boy, one of the best ones I got on staff, right, Henry?"
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you'll also like be one of my most dependable staff, ain't that right, Henry?
Yes, sir.
And that's why I'm going to reward you with a double shift, giving you more work tomorrow, more hours tomorrow, same shift, same time.
Mr. Smetty, we went over this. I have tomorrow off.
Ah, yes, you do, but I'm rewarding you, giving you more chance to make more money, yes?
I mean, I appreciate the reward, but I can't. I've got plans. I've already paid for the tickets. I can't. I don't want to miss out on that.
But Henry, you are one of my best workers, one of the most dependable, like one of the greatest I have on staff. And you're telling me that you can't work for me tomorrow night? You can't make a little exception for your good pal Samedi, eh? He's trying to shift your labels.
Yes, he is.
Yes. And he is saying that because you are less dependable, he's shifting your savior down.
And what's he shifting up?
And what he's shifting up, sorry. He's asking why you're not dependable. Sorry, other way around. He's trying to shift your savior up because he's saying you're dependable. But he's trying to shift down your superior because he believes he knows better than you do.
Henry is going to see. I mean, it's hard. This is a tough place because I have to not think with my mechanical brain here.
Right.
So he's just going to look at it, and he's going to reject.
Okay.
Not on the principle that he doesn't disagree with it, because he technically agrees with it. He's rejecting it on the fact of he's going to the damn wrecking ball. He doesn't care.
Alrighty, roll to reject that influence.
Theoretically speaking, you could always just like shift your labels to the exact same thing anyway.
Right, well, here's the fun part about this. I'm rolling this at -2 because I'm insecure.
Oh, dear.
Ooh.
Hey!
You got it anyway, nice.
Nope, that should be a 6. It didn't add the insecure.
Oh, it didn't?
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. So you try to reject somebody's influence. On a miss, their words hit you hard. So, yeah, he clearly has, like, high hopes for you, and you're letting him down, man. So...
I'm going to mark guilty.
Yep, you're marking guilty. And we are going to shift your labels. And, yeah, we're going to shift the labels the way that he wanted them to be shifted. Wait, you let him down, you're marking guilty. Whatever.
Yep.
You're going to shift down Savior because you realize you are less dependable here. So, Savior down, and we're going to shift your... Oof.
Feels like superior up then.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd say
Superior
superior,
danger.
okay. I'm going to say superior for now. So, yeah, he's shifting your superior up. So, Savior down, superior up.
Yeah. So Henry's going to look. I get it. I do. And you know I don't ask for days off. But if I hadn't already bought the tickets and Joey's really looking forward to it, and I just can't do that. So if you need me to work a double Saturday or Sunday, I can do that. I can't do it tomorrow.
It's amazing. I look at you very crestfallen. I thought I could depend on you, Henry, but no, I understand you. You have to go out, have your fun, be a kid, of course. But it's good. It's good. You go out and you have your fun. We'll talk later about your schedule.
Okay. And
You have a good.
You can
yeah.
tell that he's.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can tell that he hates saying no. So he goes and doesn't even bother changing out of the host, the waiter outfit. Just grabs his bag and just starts solemnly walking off home because he's just lost in his thoughts, and he's just feels really bad.
And going from one depressing subject to the next, Jacob. Hi.
Nope.
You're going to your lab out there on the outskirts of town, right?
Yeah.
So describe this place to me, please.
So it's hidden. So out in the outskirts of town, there's it's kind of a hilly area, and this laboratory is actually kind of hidden within one of these hills. It's underground mostly. So Jacob gets to. It's definitely not next to the road. You have to go over or around a few of the hills first. It's a there's a small. It's not really a cave, just kind of like a little cavern, like a little area underneath one of the hills that's just been carved out. And in there is kind of a hidden door that Jacob has a key card. They just RD chips, whatever. It beeps and this door opens and goes in. The elevator inside kind of goes down underground and opens up to this laboratory. Has it's a very decent size because it's got a place to, what did I put in it, healing equipment and stuff like that. But yeah,
it's
an
assistant.
Oh, well, it's Dr. Collins. But yeah, it's very clean because Dr. Collins is obsessed with cleanliness. You're a doctor, because go figure. But it's got a few different rooms for in case he or anyone else ever actually needs to sleep there or whatnot. As far as he knows, Dr. Collins doesn't actually leave this place, but because he's always there.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as Jacob knows, the guy lives there, but he doesn't know offhand, per se, but...
And how do you access this place again?
It's got, this... It's a key card, but it's not, a swipe thing. It's one of those, cards you just hold up to a RF reader thing and just, beeps. And doors open, and then it goes into an elevator, goes down.
Okay, so important question to you as well. You do work with a team. Do you have a way of communicating with them?
Yes, it's called cell phones.
Good. I don't know. You may not have Sauve's cell phone.
You know what? I don't know. Did Sauve give him his cell phone number? Yeah.
That's a yes. Okay.
Does Sauve have a separate cell phone for himself?
No, but he also doesn't have it's just a, hi, you have reached blah, blah, blah.
Well, I'm wondering
blah,
if,
blah,
I'm wondering if
blah, blah,
Henry
blah, blah.
also gave him his phone number. Because they knew each other.
Are they friends outside of school?
Yeah.
Yeah. He knew you in your civilian life.
Yes.
Right. Just because he knew me, do they hang out outside of school? Are they friends outside of school?
I would say we would at least... Oh, go ahead. Do you think you would or no?
I would, because the way I'm playing off Henry is he doesn't have many friends in his mundane life. So
okay, fair
I
enough.
would say no, he does not have Henry. So.
That's fine.
Okay. And you also have Perry's cell phone and such, I'm guessing.
Assume so.
Do you tell them that you're going to the lab?
I don't know. Did I tell both of them what's going... Did I say I told both of them what's going on exactly?
I have it noted here that you told Henry all about your day.
Gotcha. He doesn't really say. No, he doesn't really tell him that's where he's going, but he's told both of them about the lab. That's where he goes, and it's one of those things they probably assume he's there.
Alrighty. Because the important question is, you've left the school after a big event that happened the previous night.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help but be curious, Perry. After school, one of your companions is not around. You know where he tends to typically go. What do you do after school? Now that you have folks who've all gone in different directions.
So Perry is sneaking into the same location where he stole the weather device to get parts and repair equipment for.
Holy cow! Okay. It's weather lab place. Okay, so that's significant. In that case, then yeah, we'll jump. Well, we'll still stick with Jacob here as he's back to his lab. So yeah, we'll get back to that. But as that's happening, Jacob, yes, you go into your lab. You're coming down the steps and you see your assistant and friend, Dr. Collins, a large panda fellow who is typing away at the keyboard of the computer. And as you're coming in, he kind of swirls around. Oh, Jacob! Oh, good to see you.
Doctor? What's up, Doc?
Oh,
Come on.
You'll never believe it. I made an impressive breakthrough.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's gonna change your life. So trust me, come this way. So he walks you over to the kitchen.
Is it gonna actually, make me live longer?
Well, I mean, it might. Look at this. And he actually has a tea kettle going. And he pours off this tea. It's already whistling. And it pours off into this steaming cup. And he kind of hands you, says, go ahead and drink this.
Jacob looks at it for a moment and gives a shrug and just gulps it down.
Oh, no, you could sip it. Oh. When you drink
That
it,
was
it's
hot.
actually burning hot, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that was hot.
And how familiar is Jacob with teas?
Oh, familiar enough. I mean, being a rabbit, I'm certain he's drinking a lot of them.
Okay. You know immediately then that this is just chamomile tea. And he says, you're not going to believe this. I've been doing research on this stuff, and chamomile, it cures so many bacteria that's inside of you, and it just rejuvenates your fur, does wonderful things for you. The research is rock solid. This is going to change your life. I swear, a cup of this a day, you'll be set.
Jacob is just blankly staring at him like, Doc, are you just trying to make me feel better?
I mean, we tried other things, and they haven't worked. I at least want to help you out for now.
Don't worry about it. Thanks for the tea, though.
You're welcome. Be another cup here waiting for you tomorrow.
Yeah. So, news, actually. One of those drugs you were telling me about, trying to help me with the Psi Delta. We're apparently going to be experimenting with it at school next week.
Wait, experimenting with it at school?
Yeah.
Oh, which one was it? He lists off a couple of different ones that clearly aren't quite what you're thinking of until he settles down and he mentions something which is called hydroxine saline.
Hydroxine saline. Yeah, that's it.
Yes. And he kind of widens his eyes at that. He says, "Wow, it's gotta be right there at the school. They're giving that to you guys."
I don't know what they're doing exactly, but the teacher said we were going to be using it in experiments, so I thought maybe I should probably grab some for you.
That's good. That's good. Yes. Are they giving it to you to take home?
I have no idea. Probably not, because she was making it very clear that it was very dangerous and whatever, so. It's not like I could walk up to her and say, "Hey, can I have a bottle of that to take to my doctor so I could not maybe die?"
Yeah, that probably wouldn't go over too well.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're just gonna have to steal it then.
I'll figure something out.
Oh yeah, desperate times.
Pretty much.
How are you feeling, by the way? Have you noticed any changes?
He looks up at his ears. Well, tips of my ears are turning color. That's new.
Oh yes, yes it is. He reaches up, and he's a little bit shorter than you, but not by too much. But he has good enough reach to be able to kind of take one of your ears and kind of like tilt it downwards. He kind of looks over and says, "Oh, it's fascinating. I can see that. That's not natural at all."
No, it's weird how it matches the other parts of my fur color, but no, it wasn't like that before.
I see.
I just been telling everybody I've been dyeing it, but
Well, that's a physical change for sure. But have you noticed anything more surreal happening? Like, have you developed any new abilities?
nothing more than just the. And he holds up his hand and just makes just like a metal rod kind of thing. Just these psychic constructs I've been able to do when this whole thing started. Though they seem to be getting more and more consistent or solid. I used one yesterday.
Oh, very good, very good. What'd you use it for?
Oh, beat the heck out of some robber in a bank.
Huh. I guess you could do that. Makes sense. Well, very good. I'm glad you're being proactive with it. Though, hopefully, like nobody saw you like.
Oh
like
no, I
this.
was wearing my outfit. It's fine.
Oh, your Halloween costume. Yes.
Yeah, that.
Well, good. I'm glad you're keeping your identities hidden. We don't want folks looking into things too deeply.
Yeah.
So just the psychic constructs then and the ear color thing. We'll have to monitor that closely.
Yeah.
Well, while you're here, I was hoping we could do a few more tests if you have the time.
Oh
Unless you
yeah,
have
that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Did you ever figure out like who did this? By the way, I'd really like to. I don't know, blow them up or something.
He shakes his head and says, I understand that you would. But unfortunately, this time, I can't tell you that. Unfortunately.
That's fine. First things first, I guess. I mean, he just instinctively goes over to like one of the those not really hospital bed, but those things are in like every single doctor like checkup office and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Goes sits on one of those kind of tables and just like puts his arm out and just ready for blood samples or something.
He actually says, oh, no. We're doing something different today. Come on.
Oh.
He makes you stand up and go over to a different part of the lab. And you see what looks like a giant hamster wheel. He says, I've noticed you've been increasing in your speed. We're going to do some running experiments.
Could you just not... have you heard of a treadmill?
I got a little bit bored. I thought this was more inventive to make. But, trust me, this is accurate.
Sure.
Treadmills are old science.
Right. So, it just Jacob kind of shrugs and just gets on the treadmill, or the hamster wheel thing, and just starts running.
Alright, and Jacob, as you start running, we're going to switch back over to our friend Perry.
Yes.
As you're breaking in to the weather lab that you stole your device from. Now, did you give that place a name or no?
Not yet.
Okay, so we're going to call that place Storm. Because why not all capitals? So you're
I have
breaking
an
in.
acronym for that if it's an AI.
How are you getting into this place, by the way?
So they forgot to secure a back door. So I walk in the back door and they just don't know I'm there.
Alrighty, so you're just sneaking in through the back.
It's like a loading dock or whatever that they forget to lock every night.
Alrighty. Yep, you're familiar with the place, enough of the place that you back there and that door is unlocked, as always. So, you sneak in there. Nothing obstructing you as you're kind of wandering through what appears to be kind of like a dark hallway. Again, not too familiar because there's nobody that's working at this area of the building right now. But what are you looking for? You're looking for parts you said to repair?
Yeah, just or upgrade. Yeah, just seeing what they've got.
Okay. So you go to the lab that you normally do to get your parts for upgrading and repairing your gear. Uh, it's up some flights of stairs. And as you get up there, you notice something that's usually not there at this time of the day. A lab technician who is working with the equipment and clearly trying to do some work of their own on a weather device. They haven't seen you yet, though. Well, what do you do when you see this?
So Harry grabs a lab coat out of the closet, assuming there is one.
Yeah. We'll say there is. What are you going to do with that lab coat?
Put it on.
And?
Go introduce myself.
Okay. So you put on this lab coat. You're like 15, right?
15, but get past as 18. Working at the lab. Yeah.
You put on your lab coat and you walk in there, and the doctor kind of looks back as you're coming in, saying, "Wait who are you?"
Oh, I'm the new hire.
New hire. I don't remember getting anybody new. What are you doing here? This is my shift.
I have a specialization in weather devices and constructing and repairing them, and I wanted to, see what the lab looked like and kind of get my bearings before I started.
Okay, so you're familiar with this kind of stuff, then. Uh, well, if that's the case, uh, whatever. Roll to provoke. You're trying to get her to basically like believe you, right? Like let you in there. I'd say it sounds like you're rolling to provoke. So, go ahead and roll superior for me, which I think you just did, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. So on a hit, 7-9, they can instead choose one. They can stumble. They can err. They can overreact. We're gonna say that she errs, and as you talk about how your like experience with the weather tech and such, she actually gives you a bit of an opening because she starts saying, so you're good at this, but nobody told me that you were gonna have a second person in here. I should really go down there and talk to management right now about this."
No need to talk to management about it.
No.
Sure.
You wait right here. I'm gonna get the management about this, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about this. Because this is my shift, this is my table, nobody else, and we want to solve this. And so she storms out of the room, leaving you alone.
Well, that worked better than expected.
So you are alone in this lab room, and you have a little bit of time, apparently, before a manager comes up and wants to speak to you about your schedule. What do you do?
At this point, in the pouch or in the travel bag that he's carrying the weather device, and he starts loading in some of the parts and some of the tools and stuff as quickly as possible.
Okay, so you're shuffling all these different kind of tools and pieces, and some things that you recognize, some things that you don't. And you notice the thing that she was working on appears to be what would be sort of almost a carbon copy of what you currently have, like your weather backpack. Looks like they're trying to rebuild it, but they're not doing a very good job of it.
So I'm there. I took a couple bolts on it to make sure they can't ever replicate it again.
Very nice.
And then flee as quickly as possible.
Okay, going out the way that you came?
Definitely. I'll leave the lab coat. I'll hang it back up like it's supposed to be there.
Okay. So you leave the building in a rush after getting all those parts and destroying that little weather device. And we get a nice shot of the doctor coming back with the manager. And she goes and says, this person right here was... She looks up, sees the lab coat that's kind of hanging up. And the manager looks at her and says, Clarice, you've been spending a little bit too much time in the lab. And then we cut away. So, Perry, I'm very curious. After you got your device here and you're leaving and all that, where do you take all your stuff, your ill-gotten gains?
You just want me to say the seamstress, don't you?
I'm actually just curious. Also, I don't know if you're taking it home or not.
Sure, take it home. There's no one really checking in on him at the house. He's got his own room. Takes there, and he's got all the stuff to work on.
Okay. So you go home with your device. Jacob, you're doing your trial experiments with Dr. Collins.
Yes.
And Henry, you finished your shift over at Semetti's. So, in the end of the day, all of your tasks have been completed. You've been kind of rolling in after a big long day of working, training, and being a ne'er-do-well thief. So, as you guys are coming home for the evening, I'm assuming you're all going home after your respective duties.
Yeah.
As you're going home for the evening, we're actually going to kind of close out here because you're on the eve of what's going to be the Wrecking Ball. And I'm not sure if you're excited about it, but lots of other people are.
Jacob.
Clearly, Henry,
Henry.
you are as well.
Super excited.
Jacob
He's
is
super
not.
excited.
Jacob has
Jacob's
no
not.
plans of going.
So, Henry, you're getting texts from Joey as he's excited about it. Perry, are you planning to go to the Wrecking Ball?
Oh, absolutely not.
So, as you guys are going to the evening, and that's on the eve of what we're expecting the next day, we're actually going to close out, and there's going to be a panel that's looking over you guys as you're going to your respective homes. There's one that's focusing on Henry as you're going back to your home, and you're looking at your phone and like texting Joey. One focusing on Perry as you're kind of going back to your room, putting things away. And there's one focusing as well on Jacob as you're coming home after a long night of training. And we see one phrase that's actually kind of whispered, kind of collectively between the panels. Are they ready? As we close the issue on that.
All right, then.
So, that was the first issue of Welcome to Emerald City Initiation. Hope you guys all had a good time with that. If we want to do our end-of-session moves, we want to do those here, or we want to do those later.
It was fun. Whatever.
Here's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do the end-of-session moves so we can get some good old-fashioned back and forth. Let's start then with the guy we opened up with our Janice.
Hi.
Hi, Henry.
What's
what do you
happening?
want to do?
I personally would like to grow closer to our jackrabbit.
Hey.
Aw. Okay,
Well, I
so
figured the flying him home scene.
Yeah,
that was pretty sweet.
it was.
So you were in close to the team. So he made you feel welcome. So that means you already have influence, right, Jacob?
Yes, so I'm going to clear insecure, and please go ahead and must my labels. Mundane cannot go any higher.
Well, considering you not only just flew him home, but it turned invisible in doing so, I would consider your freak to go up, and your superior to go down, because you were very generous in doing so.
Seems good.
Nice. So let's go to you then, Jacob.
I mean, I was literally thinking the same thing, that Sauvé has, he's gone closer to the team because Sauvé, like, him and Sauvé not only had that moment of him flying him home, but, they had that moment in the tornado, where they were kind of together, So, I think they got closer in more ways than one. So, yeah, there's that. Hold on, because I think I actually am maxed at something. Freak is as high as it can go.
Oof.
Well, considering you ran up a building and then jumped down a building to punch a dude in the face to save your friend, your savior is going up and your mundane is going down.
Okay, then. That puts me at -2 mundane.
Yay!
It's
Which
like
is
this is actually the complete opposite of Alex. Like his freak was all the way down, his mundane is all the way up.
Yup.
Oh, I'm taking marking potential, by the way.
Good. Alrighty, so we'll close out then with actually, also we've got we'll close out with Perry. We'll get to the other session movie here in a second. So,
Well, Perry's going to grow into his own image for two reasons. One, giant tornado that wrecked the team. But two, getting in and out of the lab without getting caught.
That was
makes
good.
sense. You were very reliant on yourself, and you hit for most of the fight.
Yeah, so mundane down.
To be fair, so did I.
Yeah.
And freak up.
You hide when you fight. Okay, so mundane down, freak up. Nice. Okay. So, who else has end of session moves?
Just OPT.
Yeah, I've
Okay,
got
so
one.
just are doomed. Read your end of session move for us, please.
At the end of every session, answer the question: did you make progress on defeating your nemesis? If the answer is yes, mark potential. If the answer is no, mark your doom track. I think I did, because we've got a drug, and who was working on it with Dr. Collins, so we've got a plan to steal some stuff, in so much as that's what he's going to do.
Okay.
So I'd say yes.
So that makes sense. Yeah, I'd say you took steps towards it. So, yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and mark your potential, it was, right?
Yep. Yay. My first ever session as a Doom. I didn't mark my Doom track once.
Nope, I didn't make you. Or at least, not yet.
Right.
I tried to.
You did, yes.
Alrighty, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. So, once again, I am Chameleon Ice with TGE, OPT Lawyer, and Norestra, and we are signing off for the evening.
Later, else.